I think I just like Luigi because Mario, as we've discussed on here before, is a piece of shit. And Luigi, I vibe with him more. He's tall, he's a bit funky. Funky?
What about Waluigi?
Got a couple of Waluigis, but not a lot. I've wondered about starting to collect Waluigis. Maybe over the course of the poddy.
Start adding.
Yeah, I'll start doing. There'll be like
Because
a
I think Waluigi is like the hot one. I'm just speaking my truth here.
Yeah, I knew you were going to say that. And I only knew you were going to say that because I do kind of agree.
I just realized this was recorded.
Yeah.
Mike and Rami are still here.
That's excellent.
Welcome to Mike and Rami are still here.
Well, I've written another intro.
Oh God!
Do you want to hear my intro? I did an intro when we had Lucas on, and I thought it was appropriate.
Let's go do it.
Are you ready? You ready for my intro? Today's guest is a Class A shouter on the internet. She shouted at K.I.S.S.I.N.G games. She shouted at Wholesome Games. And she's currently shouting at Among Us developers Innersloth. When she shouts, people listen. Let's see if she can outshout Mike and Rami. It's Victoria Tran!
That actually was pretty good.
You.
Yeah, I'm honored. Thank you.
I'm interested. Do you think of yourself as loud? Obviously, me and Robbie both think of ourselves as loud.
I don't think of myself as loud, but honestly, I don't trust like my own self-assessment because I think I was talking to some people at a convention once, and they're like, "Victoria, you're so outgoing," and I was like, "What?
That's such a loaded word."
I'm outgoing. You think I'm extroverted? So I was like, okay, clearly I don't know myself. So. Who knows? You tell me.
Yeah.
But I have the same thing. I think of myself as introverted.
I guess it's like being like a marketing person or marketing adjacent or whatever, and also potentially being introverted. It's hard to like tie those two things together in a way, you know?
Yeah, it's true. Because I definitely do the thing where like, you cocoon before a convention for like a week and you're like, don't talk to me. I'm not going out. And then you like emerge as a butterfly for that 1 week.
Yes.
And then you go back into your like little cocoon afterwards.
Yes.
Yeah, that's how I feel.
I find it harder and harder over time. Like when I was younger, I think people really thought of me as like, he's the fucking loud, he's everywhere. He enjoys going to the parties and everything. And I won't say I didn't. I did like going to things, but also I was like, in the hotel room before, like, come on, let's fucking do this. Let's fucking do that. And then people were definitely seeing a loud version of me. And then the older I got, the more I found opportunities to slip away.
Yes.
And now I don't go to as many. When I do, I'll still try to be that now. But I give less and less of a fuck.
It's true. I feel like I see you way less at conferences now, Mike. I used to see you all the time.
I don't think me and you have seen each other I bet the last time we saw each other was literally like 2019.
Yes.
Pre-COVID. Partially because since COVID, I have not been to America. I've been to like European things. In fact, I think I've messaged you a few times being like, are you going to be at this thing in Europe? And then you'll be like, no.
Sorry.
But yeah, we used to see each other a decent amount because actually all three of us did because we did PAX. A lot of the time we'd be close to each other at PAX. Those were good times.
Good times.
They were really good times. I think last time I went, you were still at K.I.S.S.I.N.G.
Yeah, I think both of you saw me in my previous life.
Yeah. You've not done much since then, so there's not much to talk about.
No. Been downhill from there.
Yeah. Let's talk about that. Yeah, I don't know what year it happened, but at some point, there was a game that popped off during COVID. Was Among Us during COVID? Yeah, it makes sense, doesn't it? And you very early on were involved in that, and you've been doing that. And holy shit, has it gone places. It's funny because I was thinking about games that have like exploded and they were fucking huge. And then a few years later, they were still kind of big, but they dried off a little bit. Whereas my perception of Among Us is that it won't fucking go away. You know, like it's literally like my kids are obsessed with it. I'll go to an arcade and it's in the grabber machine to grab
Yeah.
little Among Us people. And then there's a TV show and what a ride this must have been for you.
Oh yeah, and like to be clear, I still love Kit Fox, so I never thought I would leave them. So like
Yeah.
leaving them to go to Among Us, I was like, oh, I don't know if I should do this. But yeah, it's gone so many places, and I mean, if you ask the average Steam user, Among Us is super dead because it only has like whatever
Oh
amount
my
of
God.
concurrent players.
Don't even go on to that topic.
Actually,
We will talk about that forever.
oh god, no, for real. But yeah, no, it's one of those things where like I still like get emails from parents being like, I never showed my kid Among Us, yet somehow they're asking to play it, and also they're playing in the playground.
Yeah.
They're drawing it randomly, and I
Yeah.
don't even know how half of the time these kids are finding out about it, but I love it. It's pretty great. It's pretty great.
It's bananas big.
It's pretty silly.
Yeah.
The scope of that.
Yeah, it really is. It's because it's like in my head, I feel like you kind of have Fortnite. It's just like the biggest one, right?
I think Roblox.
Roblox. Yeah,
is.
Roblox.
Yeah, of course.
Fortnite.
Yeah, of course. Feels like it's those three.
Yeah, it's wild. I don't know. I can't even explain it. Like the team works so hard, and we have like a TV show now, and we have the new game coming up. So
Yeah.
it's one of those things where I'm like, it is never a dull day. Truly.
I was wondering about that, Victoria, because I feel like every time you do something, it feels so much like you're behind it.
Oh, thanks.
I was thinking, what is your signature? And I was like, maybe I should just ask you.
The way that I would describe it is by stealing how someone else has described it to me. Basically, so I was doing like my first GDC talk in 2019. And I was really nervous, obviously. And the AV tech at the time was talking to me, just being like, oh, you'll be fine. Like, yada, yada, yada. I did my talk and then they came up afterwards. And I wish I remembered their name, but because it was so nice of them to say this, but they're like, I just need you to know that like I've seen a lot of talks. And I think a particular skill that you have is even though you were talking to a giant room full of people and it was only one way, it felt like I was sitting at a cafe with you and just having a cup of coffee. And I was like, that is so nice. And honestly, I think that has been the way that I've tried to approach things. It's like, even when it is like one-to-many communication, I think just trying to pay attention to moments when you can make like a little one-on-one interaction count is very important to me when it comes to how I communicate and do things online. So hopefully that translates. But yeah, I think that's like the way that I would describe it. And even then, I know that's kind of fuzzy, but that's the way I approach it.
Yeah, I think you can't really set a hard rule.
Yeah, it's vibes.
It's a personality thing. I feel like I would say the way I sort of try to tackle things is kind of along the same lines as you. In fact, I literally got told this today. I had an interview today with someone and they were telling me that they'd literally never had an interview or spoken to somebody like at a publisher before who just spoke in a very, hey, we're friends and we're having a chat sort of way. And it's very like on a cynical level, it's very disarming, if someone's speaking to you like that. I think I would like to argue that maybe like in the past, I've like got deals and stuff like that for games that we've had because someone I'm talking to felt like they were chatting with someone rather than doing business. I don't know if you've ever thought about it like that, but I don't know. It seems like maybe that's the way that you chat to people as well.
I think so. And I think everyone says that, right? Like they're like, oh, when you go to a conference, don't just network, be there to make friends. But that's still like a very hard line to figure out because at some point you do probably have to do a business at some point. And then how do you like merge that together? And yeah, so I think that's how I've approached things, but it's been very difficult to communicate it.
No one ever really tells you this, but if you're at a thing and you're talking to enough people, it's very likely that a portion of those people are going to go places. Maybe soon, maybe later. And the number of times when someone that I talked to loads and would just hang out at PAX or whatever 10 years ago is now like director of some shit. And I can just be like, I could do that classic line of like, oh yeah, I've got a friend who does that. So I get like, it's crazy how often that happens.
Yeah,
And
it's
and
true.
it's just comes from talking to people.
Do you think that the three of us sort of came up at a time where the industry was less professional? Friends were friends, just happy that there were other people doing what we are doing. I've thought about how much harder must it have been to start an indie studio because our indie studios exist.
There was people trying to be professional though, right? Like there was definitely people around us. Like, do you remember talking
Right,
to like Bex at Finji? And if you talk to
right.
her at Finji, she was professional as fuck.
She was super
Super
professional.
professional. Their booths
Always,
looked
always.
amazing. Finji, when you think
Yeah.
about them, they are like hot shit. Like that's the way that I think of them. And part of that is because she was being professional as fuck. And I
Yeah.
felt intimidated by her at times.
But it's definitely sort of like that transition point I'm talking
Yeah,
about,
yeah,
right?
yeah.
Like, when I think of early marketing, I very often think of Alexander Bruce, but Pax in a pink suit,
Yeah.
and people would ask, "Why are you wearing a pink suit?" And he
Yeah.
would say, "So you would ask me about the pink suit. Have you heard of Antichamber?"
That's such an Alexander Bruce thing to do.
Right.
Yeah.
Alexander Bruce, developer of Antichamber, a true indie classic. He would hate that I said
Yeah.
that. When you've been around for like 15 years and you've kind of seen people before they start doing the serious thing.
Yeah, that's really interesting. So I was like, let's say official games industry, like late 2017, early 2018. And by that time, and I was meeting like, the both of you, and we were all in like, let's say a PAX in like, the booth areas. Yeah, I was already like, you guys are established. And I was intimidated because I was like, you guys have known each other already for years and you're all hanging out. So I was like, okay, I'm not at that level yet of like, I can be as like casual or whatever. And maybe now it's changed, but I think it's interesting because it still feels, because you're saying that, oh, maybe at the time it was less professional, but for me, I was like, no, are you kidding me?
Do you think back to that time? Do you like?
Yeah.
Do you think to yourself, "I wish I'd been more like"? Do you feel like that kind of way?
I think no, I don't think I wish I was more casual, but I think it was like I wish I was less intimidated by
Yeah,
everyone.
yeah. I love the idea you're intimidated by us. Like
No, for real.
we're
I
fucking
think,
idiots.
I think one time, Mike, like I needed like a controller for the Kitfox booth, and I was
Yeah.
like, Mike, do you have like an extra controller? Oh, and you're like, oh yeah, here you go. I was like, thank you, you're my god.
Yeah. That's so funny. That's so funny.
The industry is sort of like shifting in this direction of there's more long-term heroes that people have, because let's be frank, you are people's hero.
Shocking, fearful.
You know that to be true. And me and Mike were talking about this the other day, about this idea that somebody come up to you and they say in a fully spoken sentence, "You're my hero. My dad used to play Super Crate Box with me when I was 4."
And you're like, "Oh, great! Cheers for that."
I find that window so interesting because I know you do a lot of this work too, sort of like working with new people in the industry. And I know that is a passion you have as well. It's like, what a weird industry they're starting in compared to our mess back in the day.
Yeah, I know. It's one of those things where I'm like, am I just old? Because I feel, every year it's like, oh, like the space that you're entering is so strange. But I'm like, I guess every year you enter is so strange. And it's always changing so fast. And I always feel bad, right? Because it's that thing where, like how I got into the industry is so different now, right? And it's so hard to give advice for that.
Do you give advice? Do you still dare?
Not necessarily. I think it's that thing where, like, obviously, I have the talks, I have my newsletter, I have my book, but I haven't necessarily had the time recently to do like for reals mentorship because I know, mentorship is a whole like long term and very time intensive thing. So I haven't done that recently. But even when I think about it, I'm like, oh my God, I don't even know where I would start at this rate.
Well, another part of it for me, the whole giving advice thing, I'm like, how much of my advice is even fucking useful anymore? Like,
Yeah.
I'm stumbling through this shit as well. Like, what am I gonna tell them? Oh, just start a publisher 10 years ago.
But make Flash games in 2020.
Go back and establish yourself a long time ago, and now you'll be great.
There was a very good argument to just not doing it,
To not going into games at all?
to not give advice.
Oh, I see.
When I was coming up, there wasn't as much advice, right? But I think a lot of the advice pushed me sort of like to either accept or reject it, and both of that was helpful.
It's true. I think that that's a very useful skill to have, because I hear sometimes people be like, oh, I don't know if it's worth giving advice because it's going to age like milk by the time it comes out. I'm like, but it's still useful to know what's currently happening and then knowing like the basis and then being able to adjust from there. So
I know something I was going to bring up with you, which I hope you'll be able to back me up on. You'll recall that many years ago, me and you did a bake-off together at PAX. Do you remember
Yes.
that? Of course you do. How could you forget?
I was so bad.
What was it
Yeah.
called? It was called like the Great Baking
Yeah.
Show or so. I can't remember. It was
Harris did it.
Harris Foster did it.
Yeah.
And I've actually written down who it was. It was me and you, and it was Chris Scharler, and it was
Yes.
Marlo Dobb. And the reason I wanted to bring it up, other than it being amazing, and actually I found it on YouTube earlier
Yeah.
today. I didn't even know it was on YouTube. So I'll put a link in the comments. I don't know. I'll put the link somewhere. The main reason I wanted to bring it up is because I don't know if you remember this, but I was robbed. Do you recall that I was robbed? So we did this thing, right? We did this bake-off, and the whole idea was that there was little easy bake ovens. I'd never seen an easy bake oven in my life. And we had to make cookies, right? And in between each of the rounds, we had to play a game. So we all played a multiplayer game, and it was all the things you think it was. It was
Gang Beast, I think.
Gang Beasts and Tetris and all of these kind of things. So we played all these games, right? And first off, not to toot my own horn, but I won all of them, right? But that's not the thing that I want to bring up, although I do want to bring that up. The thing that I want to bring up is that the judges judged, if you will, that my cookie/cake, whatever the fuck it was the best one. I got the best scores, right? And it was coming to the end, and I was like,
Are you bringing this up just to brag?
I know. I'm like, where is this going?
Hang on. Now, of course, I knew none of it meant anything, and it was just a stupid fucking PAX thing. But also, I was like, I'll be pretty happy to win this. And then, right at the last second, with about 30 seconds of the show to spare, Chris Slight, who was one of the judges, told Chris Scharler that if he ate all of his shit cake that he'd made, if he just gobbled up this whole shit cake, then he'd win the whole thing. And Chris Scharler just sat there and ate the whole thing and was declared the winner. Now, I don't want to say that it's the biggest upset in the history of ever. I don't want to say that, okay? And that's the end of the sentence.
Mike, did you ask me to be on this podcast just so you would have someone who was there to confirm or deny
did.
that this happened?
I did. Although now that I found the YouTube link, I can now link it, and everybody listening can watch it, and they can agree with me afterwards that I was robbed. And that's it. That's all I had to ask. I've got no other questions. I just wanted to bring that up, and then we'd be done.
I was completely unaware of any of this.
You would have agreed with me if you'd been there. Yeah.
Anyway, great book, Victoria. I loved it.
Thank you.
We've never had someone shill something on the podcast before. This is great.
Oh.
I'm really excited about this, actually. Let's let Victoria shill the book.
Sorry, wait. Did Mike's story literally have nothing, nowhere to go?
Victoria, you're telling me that you've clearly not listened before because most of my stories don't have any ending, actually.
Just to be clear, I showed up for an episode about a month and a half ago where Mike was in full suit and then proceeded to play Who Wants to Be a Millionaire with me.
Nothing I ever do has any point. And this is
Okay.
actually how I think I've got to this point in life.
This is fair.
Wise. Maybe that's the advice that we need to, leave people with.
It's not the white man energy. It's the fact that I just try shit and just get to the end of it.
That is called white people energy, Mike.
Yeah, well-
If I try whatever,
one and the
that
same
doesn't go
thing.
well for me. I just get to try things and get to the end of it, says white man.
Weirdly, things just seem to work out for me.
Why am I here?
Amazing. Right. Okay, your book.
I can't follow that up. I don't know.
Tell us, what is the title of said book and how many pages long is it?
Oh, it's called Mastering Community Management. I don't know
Yeah.
how many pages it is.
You know how many words?
No.
Feels like the kind of thing that you should know if you have a book, I would say.
No. Mike, have you written a book before? No.
I've caught you because I have
Have you?
written a book.
Okay, how many pages does it have?
Don't know.
This is the most white man energy again.
I do have a book. I put out a book in 2010
Oh.
called 250 Indie Games You Must Play.
Oh, I do have that book as well,
Oh.
actually.
See? I'm old.
Well, you can tell that I'm your biggest fan, Mike, because I've definitely watched this podcast
Yeah.
before and definitely read your book before.
Anyway, Mastering Community Management. Great book. Can recommend. Is that a beer,
Where
Mike?
did that come from?
This is my Luigi cider. Look, it's got Luigi on it.
Wait, did we record me saying that Waluigi was hot?
Yeah, we did.
Luigi?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh, great. Okay. I just want to make sure.
Yeah.
Okay, great. That's the real reason I wanted to be on this podcast. I just need to spread the word.
You had strong opinions about Waluigi.
You got betrayed as you arrived because there's just 100 Luigi staring at you.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Look
it's
at this
pretty
guy.
cool.
Look how weird this guy looks. Do you like him?
Yeah.
If only he was Waluigi.
He's my favorite
If
one.
only.
He's my favorite one because
If
he's a bit odd. So just so you know, Victoria, this is the first time I've ever had this set up. That's why it's a bit like empty behind me. I've bought a light box that's just here, and I bought some other lighting. Look at this fucking light; it's very fancy.
Is
But
that
also,
your logo in the back?
no,
Like
I
a
wish
red?
it was. I wish it was.
Okay, I was like, do both of you have logos in your
No,
background?
I need to get a logo little box cut out. But also, what I didn't tell you is that I have another camera set up over there that I've not used yet. It's recording, and my thought was that if I ever told a pun, then I'd do like a Jim from The Office look to the I'd be like, bow down, like this. But I've not done a pun yet, and normally at this point, I've done several puns. So I'm feeling a bit bad, and it had gotten to the point where I felt like I had to bring it up that I've got this
I
thing.
see. Is it
Yeah.
because I'm here? I'm like crushing your spirit. You're like, I
Yeah,
can't
it
even
might-
generate the puns anymore.
It might be that, yeah. Okay, right,
Oh.
good.
Right.
Well, now it's time for a new section of the podcast that I like to call Michael's Rapid Fire Questions. Michael's Rapid Fire Questions. Michael's Rapid Fire Questions. Michael's Rapid Fire Questions. Rapid Fire Questions. They are Michael's. Okay, are you ready? I'm going to ask you some rapid fire questions. And as you'd imagine, I require rapid fire answers. It's not just rapid fire questions that you take ages to answer. Let's go. Best place you've been to in the world.
Taiwan.
What age do you plan to retire?
50.
Have you ever eaten a snail?
Yes.
You have eaten a snail. How do you spell slovenly?
Slovenly?
Slovenly. You know, to be slothful.
Oh, slothfully.
No, slovenly. Slovenly. Go. Give you a
Yeah.
clue. Starts with an S.
Okay, so
Yeah.
S-M-I-K-E.
Wow. Now, here's the thing. The trick of this question was that I asked how you spell it. So technically, you're right. So I'm gonna say that you're right. Well done.
Women in STEM.
Yeah. This is not rapid enough. What was your favorite subject at school?
English.
English. Do you have any pets?
No.
What's your favorite hour?
This current hour.
I would have taken the witching hour. Train or plane?
Train.
Ooh, train. What animal will you come back as?
I want to say tiger, but I know it's probably just going to be like a stick bug or something kind of sad.
Something shit, yeah. And finally, have you ever been in a band?
No. Wait, yes.
Oh!
Yes. In high school band. High school, like, like band class.
This is the second time band comes up with a guest.
Yeah, I
by
think
the
it's
way.
going to be my recurring question whether people have been in
Yeah,
a band
yeah.
or not.
When Lucas Pope also
In a
was in
band?
band.
But he was in a
Oh.
band. He wasn't in band. Because you described being in band, didn't you? But he was
Yeah.
in a band.
Oh, he's cool.
What instrument
He's
did you
cool.
play in band?
I played flute, and then I got bored, and then I played clarinet.
Mate,
Do you play flute?
I played flute. I
What?
played flute, yeah. I played flute.
Oh my god.
In America, what do you do? Because over here we do grades. So I was grade 7.
I think I was also I'm in Canada, just to clarify for people.
Can't fucking believe I've done this. I'm leaving.
Just to clarify.
I'm leaving. I'm leaving right now. Right. Can I just say that British people.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, no. It doesn't matter how I say this. It's going to sound bad. For British people, that island over there is like a little bit all the same thing.
He really is white, isn't he?
Mhm.
You know how
Yeah,
our island
yeah.
is all the same thing?
No. 4 independent places on there.
Yeah, but if somebody was like on the border of Scotland, you might mistakenly think they were English. I think. Maybe you wouldn't. Maybe you're better than me.
So how is this in Canada, Victoria?
I don't actually know because I didn't do it super seriously other than like high school band.
Right, okay,
So like
okay.
I played it in grade 8 to 10, but I don't know if I would
Okay.
call it like a grade 7 thing. But yeah, now I'm just slightly wondering if this is like this podcast is your guys' route of like slowly getting Mike canceled.
Oh, that's not going to be slow. That's going to be very fast.
Have you been canceled before?
Yes, I have. Yeah,
Okay.
I got cancelled
Okay.
once. Yeah, do you not remember?
I do slightly recall this.
I'll bring this up vaguely. I'm not gonna fucking
You
go
don't
into
have to
this
go
now.
into it.
I'm not gonna go into this deep.
I'm sorry.
But you'll recall, Rami's pulling his face because he's like, he's like, this is the first time Mike's ever brought this up. And a few years ago, I did a thread about how a game that we'd released sold on Twitter, and it was when I was like coming off Twitter. I was like, basically, I decided this is the last thing I'm going to do on Twitter. After this launch, I'm leaving it. I can't be arsed with this shit anymore. So I did a big thread of all of these like stats about the game, and then I forgot about it. And then about a week later, after I'd long forgotten this thread, and I deleted Twitter as well at this point, so I wasn't even looking, people started telling me, oh, you need to look at Twitter, something bad's going on. And I was like, I don't care, I'm not on there anymore. And then halfway through the day, a PR company we're working with called me on my phone to tell me, oh, you need to look at Twitter, something bad's going on. The short version is that in my big thread of like 20 tweets or something like that, there was this one tweet where I had basically said, we like barely had any like influencers play the game. And a big reason why we hadn't is because whenever we'd send a code to someone, they said they wanted money. You know, they said they wanted us to pay for the promotion.
Mm-hmm.
And I said, that feels icky. And influencers did not appreciate me calling their business model icky.
Okay.
And afterwards, I kind of apologized and stuff. It's fascinating, though, because the topic is, I think, like a lot more nuanced. Anyway, that was the time I got cancelled, is the answer.
see.
Yes, I remember that.
I poked the bear. I'm
Do you
sorry.
enjoy my rapid fire questions section?
It was great. Great job.
Do you have a bucket list?
Bucket list. I don't. Is that
No.
weird?
No, I don't think it's weird.
I don't have one either.
I don't know. It's just never been a thing for me.
Kind of am living my bucket list
Yeah.
most of the time.
Yeah, it is strange, isn't it? It's hard to think about how privileged we all are. You know,
100%.
like it's sometimes when you're doing the job and you're doing a bit that's a bit hard, that it's like it's really easy to forget.
Oh yeah. What helps keep me humble is like my sister-in-law works in healthcare and like she's an audiologist. And I'll be talking about something and she's like, oh yeah, like one of my patients like heard something for the first time today. And I was like, okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It feels very privileged to be in the game space for all the like, you know, things that we talk about and all the discourse because, you know, people are online. It is a very nice place to be in.
Did you ever have that moment? Because I had this moment, like, I don't really have much of a life outside of this.
Yes, at some point I was like, oh, maybe I should get a life outside of this.
Right.
What do you do for hobbies?
I started getting really into dance. I mean, reading is still like a huge part of my life. Does going out to restaurants count? Like, I just love eating.
Yeah, I
Yes.
guess.
Yeah.
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 I really struggle to read because I feel like I've murdered my.
Attention span.
Yeah. It's you have to practice. And part of the
Yeah.
reason I like actively try to read is because I know like because my work involves so much of that scrolling. I'm like I gotta focus on long form content for a bit just to make sure my attention span isn't shot. And it's sometimes very difficult.
I think dance has nothing to do with video games, but close enough, I guess.
Sort of. I guess it has a creative outlet to it. Just something like refreshing to just do something basically kind of opposite. Honestly, that's sort of why like I used to play so many multiplayer games, but like since working community, usually at the end of the day, like the last thing I want to touch, I'm like, I do not want to play a game with anyone. If you plot me in front of anything, I'm like, no, I need to be alone in my like hole and just like big number go up or something. No reading.
I was wondering, Victoria, like, I think a lot of people look up to you and sort of like pay attention to what you say and how you do things and how you describe things and the content that you've put out and the book that you've written. And was there a point where you had that moment of realization of like, oh shit, people are watching?
Yeah, I think so. I don't know if there was like a particular turning point for me where like I realized this or I started becoming more careful, but at some point, because like part of the reason why I was writing a lot of my community management stuff in the early days was honestly half the time I was like, I don't know if it's right. Like, I'm sure if I write something, someone will correct me or like discuss something with me. And sometimes that would happen. And then at some point it did sort of shift into, oh, actually now I'm realizing, because a lot of, studio heads would talk to me and they're like, oh, I tell my community manager to follow your stuff religiously. I'm like, wait, it's like this is all super contextual. I don't know if that's the right thing to do. Or, I just started hearing more stories about people being like, oh, like you should be doing things exactly like her. I'm like, I don't really know if I agree with that. So that's when I started becoming a little bit more careful. But I think it was more of a gradual thing over time, and then being very careful about the kind of advice that you give, because especially now, like working on a game as big as Among Us, right? Like now a lot of that advice is so not relevant, which is also why I still try to work with smaller indie projects, because I'm like, I'm very much in the indie space and I don't want to lose track of what makes sense and what doesn't, but also it's still very interesting to explore a bigger game. So yeah, I don't know, it's one of those weird spaces for sure.
It's weird because I don't think we were ever equipped to be visible. I never got media training or anything like that.
What do you think media training is like? Is media training just being a professional?
Yes.
Right.
I think so. I think it's also, I assume it's like, maybe if you're, because I think a lot of media training sometimes, and maybe this doesn't apply as much in the games industry, but maybe like, you have a lot of people who are like trying to ask you gotcha questions and you want to get out of those gotcha questions. Maybe I would assume media training helps you get out of that. So like, I can see its usefulness if you're, huge celebrity and, people are trying to get in your personal life all the time. Like it's probably somewhere there too.
It's funny because for me, I feel like it's the opposite way around. For me, I feel like when I go into, let's say someone's going to interview me and I know it's going to be like written somewhere, I'm like trying to answer in ways where I'm giving them something. Because I used to write about stuff and it would be like you talk to someone for half an hour and you're looking for like the bit that they say that like can be the headline that people will click on and then hopefully they'll read the whole thing. So when I'm being interviewed, I'm waiting for them to ask the question where I know I can give them like at least a semi-spicy answer. So then they're like, oh yeah, that's going to be the headline. And so then I know that people are going to click the thing where I've talked because I want people to read the words I'm saying. All right, listen, can't take any more of your time, but also we should end on a more fun note here, shouldn't we?
Fair.
I'll tell you, I was asking about bucket lists earlier. I don't have a bucket list either, but actually I have what I call my impossible list. And I have a list where I put on it things that I know I'll probably never be able to do. But if I could strike any of them off the list, then that would be incredible. And actually, part of the reason I bring it up is because I added one to the impossible list today. I added to the list today that I want to, at some point in my life, do a pop shove it on a skateboard.
What's a pop shove it?
I don't know. I've played so many Tony Hawk's games, right? And I've seen the words pop shove it appear on the screen. And I think that the little character I'm controlling sort of pops and then shoves it. I think he sort of spins the board underneath himself or something like that and then lands back on it.
Isn't this a bucket list?
No.
He's like, I discovered this thing.
No.
It's
You've
called...
misunderstood.
This is the white man. He's back. He reinvented the thing and gave it a new name.
No. You misunderstood. This is the impossible list, guys. Let me read you some more things off my list. Okay, you ready? Which will prove to you it's not a bucket list, okay? Win a poker tournament.
That is very bucket list.
It's not impossible. Mike, we believe in you, and we think you can win a poker tournament.
Oh, I see. It's not an impossible list if people believe in you. Then it turns into a bucket list.
You could do it.
No, I think a bucket list is like, visit New Zealand. Because like tomorrow I could just buy a ticket to New Zealand and I'm there and I could do the bucket list tomorrow.
Mike, you could write yourself into a poker tournament tomorrow and win.
Okay, here's more. Have my own TV show.
That's never going to happen.
It might happen. Right, I'm going to do that one now. One of them is compete in Robot Wars. I think over the pond, Robot Wars is called like Battle Bots or something like that.
You could totally do that. 3 out of the 4 things out on your impossible list are bucket lists.
I don't know. I don't think I could do that. One of them is learn the saxophone solo from Baker Street.
That's a bucket list item. That's the most possible
Oh
thing.
my God, you're both so wrong. This is an impossible list thing. None of these things are doable, all right?
Have you ever considered being more confident, Mike?
Oh shit. This is really making me think. This is really...
Please no. Please no. You can sign off after this. I'm stuck with this man.
And that's my gift to you.
Right. Well, I think you're right. You know, I think in the coming weeks I'll add it to my impossible list. Hang on.
Mike, you're bringing a saxophone to develop.
I'm gonna try to play the solo from
Wow.
Baker Street. It's the one that goes. It's the one.
Oh boy.
The one that goes. It's the one that goes. That one. You know that one? Don't both pull off
I might.
face at me like that. You're making me feel so old.
I think it's just that you're British.
Don't even think it's a British song.
I mean, if you call it Baker Street, I'm going to assume it's British.
Oh yeah, shit.
I don't know.
Actually.
It's okay. You're either old or just British. We'll find out.
Or both, really.
Perfect. Well, there's the perfect place to end. I'm either old or I'm British.
But you're still here, Mike. You're still here.
Before we go, thank you very much for joining us for whatever the fuck this was.
It was great.
Shill some more things before you go. If people were like, wow, somehow I've never heard of Victoria before because I'm under a fucking rock. Where are they going? What are they doing?
Yeah, if you want to find me, I'm Victoria Tran. I guess victoriatran.com. I have that website name, so you can find me there. That's where all the
Amazing.
socials are. I have a book. It's Mastering Community Management. Did we talk about it? Not really.
No,
I
we
don't know how many words there are. I don't know how many pages there are.
You should find
But
out.
maybe give it a read anyway. Marketing. Oh, but actually, for work things, you can wishlist Among Us Story on Guard. That's the next game that the team is working on. They're working very hard and very excited for them. Or you can also check out the stuff Wholesome Games is doing. They're a great group doing a lot of really cool things, highlighting, uplifting, cozy games that I really enjoy and love. But yeah, that's all my stuff. But now I have to shill something else.
Maybe just a game that you played recently where you're like, more people need to play this.
I was going to shill something else, but we could do that too.
No, shill the other thing as well.
Okay, I was going to say you should donate to your public library, your local public library, which is something that I've recently gotten into. I'm like, you know what? Because I grew up like with libraries, basically. They were my babysitters. So
Yeah.
just throwing that out there. I think it's a great thing. But we're talking more in games. It doesn't need shilling, but I've been really hooked on Eugenics. I just started playing it.
Yeah.
And it's really good.
Yeah.
I'm late to the bandwagon, but it's really good.
Yeah.
Okay, damn.
You've had a few things going on.
I just had a few things going on.
Little
Just a few things.
I'm like, oh god, now I'm gonna feel bad because there's definitely gonna be like smaller indie games that I want to shout out. I'm like, oh, I can't even think about it right now.
Thanks for shilling the gigantic game.
I know, cancel me.
Good shilling. Shilling moments is over. No more shilling,
more shilling.
please.
No more shilling.
No
No more
more.
shilling.
Mike, do you want to shill our podcast for like 10 seconds?
Why? People are listening to the podcast.
Maybe but you might want them to subscribe.
Guys, if you really enjoyed this, please consider listening to Mike and Rami Are Still Here. Sometimes we have cool people on, like Victoria. Other times we don't, and you just have to listen to my stupid bullshit. Either way, it's going to be a great
Thanks,
ride.
Victoria.
Cheers, everyone.
Smash
Thanks
that
for-
like button.
Don't tweet at me, because I'm not there. Catch you on the flippity flip, everyone. Peace out. Do people still say peace out? That's it. Bye. You've been listening to Mike and Rami Are Still Here with me, Mike Rose, and Rami Ismail. Edited by Chris Lees. Theme tune by Jay Folan. Key art by Stacey Satchel.